Okay, so as we get started with a newer semester, we're working with, options that we can have at a better interest rate and a better performance rate and a better potential rate that gives it more of a liability rate of having a perfect process purchase at the time, where you can be able to purchase at a more current time. So, just being able to use the full payment more often, and, being able to use whatever you want to buy and using it 671 times of its own repetition at the time, being able to use the price that you paid for and multiplying it times 671 times is pretty much what we're doing at PMC 2 Squared and Catfish Industries of ecourb, and that's pretty much where you're using those types of details as you use ecoherbs plans and propositions at the time. That's what ranges up to about 690% of interest rates, which is supposed to boost up the entertainment or the excitement on the new deal or the new program that we got set up. And that's pretty much what that is. As you make 60 tens, 90 tens, and 62 tens a beneficial option, you make that a beneficial option. That's pretty much what you're dealing with at the time. So this is pretty much what that is called, a beneficial option. A beneficial option, and that's pretty much where we got as many as you need, and being able to use that for the game Frost 2 and Midnight Club LA. You're using it for group experience points where you win first place, second place, whichever one that you feel, and it's pretty much a winner type deal. As you win more into second place or first place, whichever one you win, you still have the application of this display it right there, right here, and that's pretty much where you're using ecoherb of PMC 2 Squared of Catfish Industries to promote more for PMC 2 Squared, which goes on Chime, Capital One, um, Capital One, Platinum Card. It's just an extra profile with invoice in it. So it's just pretty much where you being able to use the extra money that you got. Being able to use more from your reduced tax is pretty much where you're getting more towards using it for revenue tax. And it's pretty much as you use your reduced tax, you use it more towards revenue tax, and being able to use that um, for your business is pretty much where you're using more for commercial properties. Other than using revenue tax, you're using reference tax, and reference tax is what was being given to you at the time before you get to the revenue tax, which is how much is at least 691 orders going against reference tax, which is one order. So that's pretty much where you're using the difference between reference tax and reference tax being six. Reference tax being one, I believe. Let's see what we get after we add up both for the two options. So you got reference tax and you got revenue tax, and then you got reduced tax. Revenue tax, and then you got reduced tax, which is used already when you close down, or being able to eat, the food actually towards its acceptability of banking and farming and sciences. So you're using a group of 371 different propositions in the periodic table, at least, and that's pretty much where you're using 671 different colors of shades, tones, and base colors, and being able to know more about the inside of home decor, or home housekeeping, working on housekeeping and stuff like that. So it's pretty much where that works on, as far as knowing more about reduced tax and what that does on your revenue tax. And it's pretty much where you're using 671%, 671, 41% back to revenue tax. And it's pretty much as you using a bonus benefit, and it's pretty much as you use more of a dime to pay your subtotal. Being able to use your subtotal payments as a cleared variety of 671%. And what we do at PMC2 Square, we can boost that up into having 67.71% instead of having 671%. So that's pretty much the difference between reference tax and revenue tax. So if you don't know, we still can go over it. And going over that part, we still just went through reduced tax and what reduced tax does. If we haven't figured that out yet, we still can go over that as well. But let's just get the main point across first, and get the first option of the first description made for the difference between revenue tax and reference tax. And being able to know more about the collegiate options of 2069 and 2072 as we get started with future investments at the time. So just being able to look more into the AT4 18 to 21, the AT4, the Denali, the Yukon XL, the Yukon Tahoe, and then the Z71, and then just a natural 2021 Suburban at the time is pretty much where you're looking at revenue tax. And it's pretty much as you're using more of revenue tax to promote more for what you represent and what you promote for your popular exchange. So it's pretty much dealing with 671 different details that it gets promoted from 2007 to 2032, and being able to know more about the references that proclaim the difference between 1992 and 2022 is pretty much where you're starting the difference between reduced tax and reference tax. And being able to know more about reference tax, you learning more that reference tax is instead of it being 6-1, instead of it being 6 is 1, and instead of reduced tax being $6.99, it's more of It's more of 21.61 at the time of $21.61, and it's pretty much where you're working with reduced tax, and being able to know more about your political individual conference of uh, your of your self-evident individual at the time. So just pretty much using that at the time of 1969, of 1971, and being able to use the old school, more model technician at the time, just because this objective has been around for more than 800 years. So that's pretty much where you got to take your time and have much more due process, being influenced by the scenarios of that detail. So it's pretty much where you're working on more of House of Burgesses or Treaty of Assalages, Treaty of Assalis, which is where it could be in California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Nebraska, and those are the main ones that know more about that type of detail. So it's just working with the college whereabouts at that time, and knowing more about that type of stuff. So other than that, you are working with all types of data. ecourb, PMC, ecourb teaches more of that process, and it's pretty much where you just broadcasting points that announce different subscriptions and different keywords to make a corporate point. And it's pretty much as you making benefits to expand payment benefits. So it's pretty much as you using primary detail to promote more for the premium benefits that you could be having, other than having $671 and not being able to have 6010s or 9010s or 6210s added. And that's pretty much just multiplying 672 times 690 times 222 times 12, and you pretty much have that detail of what this is and what we're going through, and how to get to it. So that's already 3/3 of an option already waiting for you to collect as you use your 10th grade acknowledgments at that graduate decision. So other than that, we are talking about PMC2 squared and free trade investments at an economical trade, and being able to know that from 1989 to 2006 to 2022, you're pretty much listening to the reestablished program of that stuff on ecourb. You pretty much learning the reestablished mindset of that stuff. So it's pretty much where you're looking at the state natives navigations since 2009 and looking at that stuff, and that's pretty much where you're getting to the point where you're building a aerospace network for travelers and expeditioners from Fort Worth to Smithville. And that's just pretty much what they know in Arizona to Nebraska, and T-Mobile coverage. And it's pretty much where you're using only on colonial delegate ground. So it's pretty much using T-Mobile colonies to promote that for the urbanized view of home ownership. So that's pretty much where you're looking at T-Mobile colonies for home ownership investments, and being able to know more and closer to the individuals that know more about the situations that we know about, that we can ask questions on at any time. So, it's just pretty much working with T-Mobile of Suddenlink, Austin code coordinates, and, being able to know more about Spotify, $97,741.91 is pretty much where that goes in the 680 frame of Spotify, Suddenlink, Austin code, and T-Mobile, and it's pretty much as you use this type of yearly income to promote those types of details that pay for those investments at the time. So that's pretty much using 671% of power, 671% of power to promote more for 680% of activity going on. So you being able to add energy to the factors that you want to buy, the proposition, the preview, the PowerPoint, the aerospace scenes. You want to buy the proposition off those type of details. So it's pretty much looking at 671 planes at the airport, and you're looking at them board and on board, and looking at everybody at the airport. And that's pretty much where you're paying for that whole detail. And that's pretty much where you spend your $67,741.91 majority of the time, since that's where you're going to spend majority of your time anyway, since you have to hang out, eat, use the restroom, fly back to your local county, and be able to spend as much as you like after that. Is pretty much where we're at after having $30,000 net worth of income coming in every year. So it's pretty much using $620 641 times. So it's pretty much where you're using at least 27,441 times, $27,741.24, 740 times. So it's pretty much using that since 1998 of 2024, and being able to know more about that detail is pretty much what ecourb progresses in that factor. So it's pretty much using more of these terms, PMC2 squared, ecourb, or Google Docs, to make a more standard main title for what I do on a daily, and being able to know more about the precautions and the activities of those deeds is pretty much what I do to promote more for my daily duties as a job member, as a city member actually. So with that, these companies are, the littler titles, the subtitles. So it's pretty much where you're using these guidelines to promote more for not only what my terms look like, but what to look for in my companies, and that's pretty much where you're using the whole analysis to promote more for what you like, and it's pretty much where you're using your own network like T-Mobile or AT&T fiber, and using more of something that has those common network endpoints.